Hello and welcome to the Bald and Beardiful. I'm Chris.
I'm Bryce.
I'm bald.
And I'm fairly certain he almost forgot our intro because it's been a long time.
Well, apparently you did because you missed your line.
Oh, I'm very beautiful. More beautiful than you nowadays. Not that they can see us.
There we go.
Yeah, he cleaned it up a little. I've taken on my summer beard, which is a lot like the winter beard, but just makes no sense whatsoever.
Summer beard. Mine would be more of a summer beard because I've taken the fullness out of it, but it was not why.
You trimmed it down. Yes, you trimmed it up. You let the air flow through it. I'm just going full Viking. I kind of want to get to the point where I can braid it. Just come in one day and it's just all braided down.
I could have my other when I trimmed it, I had the capacity to braid it.
In case anyone else wonders what the heck I'm doing, we have some guests today. This is Franklin. Say hi, Franklin. Franklin's like, what am I doing up here?
He doesn't like to be held.
No, he does not. Well, then you wouldn't know that from how much he wants to stay around us.
Anyway, neither here nor there. So it's the off season. We're in between. We're in that no man's land because the NBA Finals, hence the title there. The NBA Finals have finished. Baseball isn't really doing anything worth the All-Star, or was it the All-Star break or whatever that is?
I don't know. I don't
right?
follow it that much.
Something like that. Preseason hasn't quite started yet because it's still July, right?
So close. We're so close.
A few weeks from the beginning of preseason.
Gonna start cover 5 here soon.
Cover 5 will start. Cover 5 isn't starting preseason though. Cover 5 starts with the first week of.
To me, a month is soon. It can't come quick enough.
Yeah, Cover 5 starts with the first game of the official game in the season. Listen, the only thing I guess we have going, which we could talk about in future videos, not this one, is the Olympics.
Yeah, we could every 4 years or so.
Yeah,
and I say or so because you had to skip a year last year, right? It would have been last year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we had to skip because of the pandemic, or as the news said, the worldwide pandemic, which is just
redundant. But it's like when people say ATM machine, a lot of people say that it's a habit, but because it's an acronym.
The M means machine.
The M means machine. Yeah, we have a lot of those.
Yeah.
And yeah, the calling it a worldwide pandemic just makes it sound scarier, right?
It does make it sound scarier, but I mean, I wanted to comment on the ATM. Like everyone knows it's alien time machine, so why would you say machine twice?
Yes, exactly.
I'm just wondering if you would catch where I'm quoting. It's a very small scene in one episode of a really large show.
It's from How I Met Your Mother.
Holy shit.
And it's when Ted is buying Marshall's charts back from the homeless dude that he is supposed to give $1 or $2 in perpetuity for like a million years or something like that.
We watch way too much TV. That's great.
I do remember it. It's pretty funny. Yes, the alien time machine. And yeah, because he swindles him. He swindles the homeless guy. 100%.
But he does keep giving him $1 every day.
He does give him $1 every day.
And he agreed to it.
Because he asked for, what was it? No, he asked for, I forgot what number he actually asked for as far as money. And then Tim says he's going to give him $1. Or he agrees to it to let him pay him $1. Yeah, Ted, whatever.
Yeah, no, he says the ATM will only give him $1 a day, so he can only.
Yeah, so he's gonna pay. Was they supposed to pay him $3 million by paying him $1 every day?
Something like that. I think it was just $1 million, but yeah,
something like that. But either way, he still swindles the guy because obviously he'll never pay him that full amount.
Nope. And well, I mean, eventually, he tried to move away to the Chicago one, but we are so far off.
We're so far off topic. Either way, so commentary on the Olympics to come. We do like a weekly recap. I think that's fair, and that would be something as we get back into the swing of things. But like we said, we're in that kind of regular sports no man's land, if you will. But the NBA Finals did just finish up. We are in the Phoenix area, so the Phoenix Suns representing in the NBA Finals.
Are we fans?
No,
not at all.
Don't follow basketball.
We're not bandwagoners, but we as a season ticket holders at the Cardinals, we support the home team. So you do it for Diamondbacks every once in a while. The Suns this year, and Cardinals. We like football.
I'm an ultra casual Dodgers fan. Like I only pay attention. Like I check where the Dodgers are at, like halfway through the season. and then that's about as far as it goes unless they make the playoffs.
I've never had a team to really follow. I mean, the only reason I really started following football was just because of the friends that I had growing up. Everyone watched football, but I've lived in numerous cities. I wouldn't even know who to follow. Like if I had to make my own choice for who I represent,
just pick one.
Yeah.
I've been to more Lakers games than any other basketball team. I've only been to one Suns game ever, and it was it was years ago, and it was like a garbage time game because it was the last game of their regular season, and they didn't make the playoffs, and it was against San Antonio, who did make the playoffs. So San Antonio rested all their star players, and the Suns were the Suns. So it was. I mean, I had fun. Like it was a good time. Like, but it wasn't like it was like a really great like sporting event. That like, I mean, the tickets were free, so man.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the finals. What do you think of it?
So they are who I thought they were.
they're following old traditions.
Well, and that's really where it was. Like everybody was really on the Suns coming into the finals. But I did say it. In my work, my real job, my day job, team chat with my folks that we were discussing it. That I said that when it was before the Bucks had actually won their series to go to the finals, that depending upon who won, we were debating who would win and who would stand, who would do what in the finals. And my hot take on it was that if the Bucks won, that they would give the Suns a run for their money. Not necessarily win, but they stood the best chance to upset the Suns if they won.
You did mention that to me, and I think our father at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And for spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't figured this out.
This is a recap. It's already been a week, so like there's no like if you recorded it.
It hasn't been a full week. I think it ended Tuesday, and today's Friday. So it hasn't been a full week.
Did it end on Tuesday? It seems like it was so far ago.
Yeah, well, it's when you don't care. It's so far back. No, I mean, we cared a little enough to make a video on it. But, yeah, Suns went 2-0, their home games. They absolutely destroyed. And then there were a couple of games where they were ahead by double-digit numbers in the first quarter, the second quarter, and just went in to lose it. They couldn't hold their lead. They fell apart on their away games. Needed to win at least one away game, and they just couldn't do it. They got close twice. I remember seeing one of them. I got the scores like towards the end, and like you're watching the last few minutes, and I believe they were down like 1 point within the last 30 seconds, and they lost like 4. And I think this last one, they were ahead for a good portion of it, but again, just couldn't keep their lead.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that they went up 2-0 in the series, right? And that's where they essentially fell off, right? And I'm not saying that was the Bucks' strategy, but it seemed like it was the Bucks' strategy, like in the later games, was let them get ahead, let them get comfortable. They weren't going to make adjustments, and then therefore when the Bucks really turned it on and were up tempo and just really great perimeter shooting, especially from the corner, like the Suns didn't have an answer. And I really think that's what it was, is like this, the Suns basically gave up their playbook. They like, it was like kind of like playing their cards face up. They did their first 2 games, they absolutely performed. And then they made no coaching adjustment, no player adjustment, no nothing. And I think that falls on the coaches. I think the players didn't show up. They don't really have I don't think Booker or Chris Paul are like that elite caliber player. Like you have like a Jordan, Kobe, rest in peace. Even a Scottie Pippen or a Larry Bird or a Magic or a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'll say
the Bucks did at one point.
I'll say LeBron. But like he is an elite talent. I'll give him that. He's an elite talent. A D Wade. There's plenty of like players that have been in the league that were an elite talent that could carry a team. Booker and Chris Paul are not those players, and their strategy seemed to be that they were trying to get one or the other really to carry the team, and then the support, and then that would ultimately take a lot of the pressure off the supporting cast, and that's just not what it was, especially with the adjustments that the Bucks made. So like once the Bucks adjusted to their scheme, they took off with it. And that's really what it was. No coaching. You know, so I really put this one on the coaches. Like I said, like there were, the players had the opportunity to show up and really like kind of play at their ceiling, and they didn't. I mean, they still played at a super high level. They still played it competitive, but like they really needed
the finals. You would hope they did.
Well, we've seen teams in finals like the Rams against the Patriots where they made it to the Super Bowl and they completely just did nothing.
Falcons versus Patriots.
Well, they choked. That was a choke job. That was a choke job like no other. They did score. Was it 38 points in the first half? 38-3
for that
Super Bowl.
I don't remember what the score was at the time. I just remember seeing the memes. Brady, you're down by 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and a field goal, and you have 12 minutes left. Hold my beer.
Yeah, basically. So that's what it was. Like it was definitely entertaining. And the Suns typically struggle on the road. I think that was ultimately going to be the linchpin anyway. Was having to have that road win. Because even my wife, who is a casual fan, but she's a casual sports fan in general. She has some that she pays attention more than others. But she like drops these like little like knowledge bombs, like where like.
You think she's been studying?
You think or she's some sort of like sports savant, because if you would actually put money on some of these things that she says, you'd win a ton of money. Hence how I went to Mexico this summer. She won a underdog parlay in March Madness, not because like she really follows college basketball, but she did some research, was looking up some stuff, and like formulated a parlay based on trends, and went, all right, let's just put some money on it. Like it's we're here to have fun. We're doing this for fun and excitement, and that's what it was. And she hit and paid for our trip. Is what happened, right? Like, so she even like when I believe we were watching the first away game in Milwaukee, and she even said it like, don't be surprised if the Suns lose, because they typically lose the first away game in a series, and sure enough, they lose.
I'm wondering if she just noticed that, or if she heard that from somebody. Like, I'm wondering like where that came from.
I'm not really sure where she got it from, but like it was what it was, and it was true, and it came to be true. And I sat there and looked at it. I was like, maybe I should drop some money on it. But sports betting has passed as far as from a like bill standpoint in Arizona, but like no sports books are open. So I'm like, either I have to do it illegally, which I don't, encourage.
We don't do
in any way, shape, or form, or I'd have to drive to like Laughlin. I'm like, I'm not sure, and that's still a fair drive to make one bet, and like I don't for fun. To have to drive all the way back.
At that point, it's not just for fun. You're trying to do something.
Yeah, but I would have to make it
just for fun. Is I'm here. I might as well.
Yeah, to drop it. I mean, do that. I feel like I would have had to put a more significant amount of money than I was necessarily comfortable with at that given moment. So I let it go. But she does those every once in a while, so I got to pay attention and just pull it. Because she even said, I think she called the Suns too, like winning the series to go to the playoffs, or not playoffs, but like go to the finals. Something like she did some stuff like where she had a dream. That one was where she had a dream. She had a dream that the Suns like won the series and went to the finals, even though they weren't favored. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And sure enough, it happened. that was one of the most recent ones that we missed. We missed the dream and the little knowledge bomb of like, hey, the Suns typically lose the first, on average lose the first away game of a series.
You can't tell her what you're doing, but just wait for her to drop these little knowledge bombs. Go, oh, that's interesting, and come tell me and Dad, and we're go make some bets and see how it pays off.
Well, so once sports betting is up and fully running in Arizona, right? Because it's now legal. The bill passed. It's just there's no, at least to my knowledge, I actually haven't looked in it, that there are no books that are open, because they gave away, they gave away, but they assigned X amount of licenses to the tribes out here that already do gambling licensing, and then they also had some for like the sports teams. I want to say that they're supposed to open a sports book at or near the Glendale Arena, whatever it's called. Is it still University of Phoenix, or no? What is it now?
Is it not University of Phoenix, or did it go to a bank?
I don't remember.
Quick research.
No. I don't remember. It's been so long since we've gone because like this last year we there were no.
Didn't get to go at all.
Yeah, we didn't. We passed on the opportunity. Like we did have the opportunity to like, or I don't think we put our names in for the raffle because we decided that we weren't just going to go because they were when they did start allowing fans because they did allow some fans, being season ticket holders, you could put in for it. I don't think we actually did.
Okay.
So.
I wasn't here during the season again for COVID messed up my whole job experience of 2020. Three jobs in 3 states. That was fun.
Yeah, it was an exciting 2020 regardless.
Indeed it was.
So, I mean, I think it was exciting for what it was, for being basketball. But they are one flop away from being soccer. I swear. Like that's probably that's actually one of the main reasons that I do not watch basketball. It's just not like the lack of defense really, and like I just say lack of defense. Like really what I've noticed with basketball, I remember when you used to have a big center that you used to like set up where you would feed the ball into the center. It was real physical in the key, and then you were trying to set up your snipers on the perimeter to work some 3-point shooting in, or some from the field. You had your high percentage shooters from the field, right?
Right.
And now it seems like it's a lot of 3-pointer, like long 3-pointers. The Bucks were shooting.
He touched me.
Well, yeah, the Bucks were shooting lots of long 3-pointers, which was crazy to see. But even like from the field, there was like these fadeaways that were typically like coached as like inaccurate. I mean, they're making them, so I guess it doesn't apply anymore because the talent level is higher. But like super inaccurate, off balance, like fadeaways that. They hit the rim, they come off the backboard, whatever, and then everybody just runs back. There isn't any sort of like fight for a rebound.
Go get the ball.
Yeah, to go up for the ball. It was like shoot, miss, get back on defense, so that the other team could do it. And so a lot of more back and forth. But like you said, like if anybody touches them or looks at them incorrectly, like they're on the ground, and then laying there until somebody comes and helps them up, right? Like. It's become one of those things like where soccer, like somebody breathes too heavy and they're flailing on the ground.
Have you seen any of those bloopers for soccer? Like some of the guys will come up to another player and put their own head in their shoulder and then fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see them intentionally make contact and then act like the victim. We're not quite that bad, or that's definitely not quite that bad, but it's ridiculous to think that they get away with stuff like that sometimes. It doesn't always work.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So yeah, the flopping, I'm 100% against the flopping. Like I think it needs to be a more physical game. But I guess like that, like, or either it needs to be a more physical game, or it needs to be like a not physical game. Like I said, I think right now, like they still live in this limbo where they are up on each other, like where they're making physical contact. But not really, but then we have the flopping. So we either like allow them to play, allow them to be a little bit more physical, or have them be more physical, or then it needs to be like, no, you can't just ram your hindquarters up into the player to try to like, as you're trying to move around type thing, right? There needs to be some sort of like some buffer. I don't know how else to describe it. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I know what you mean.
In order to get it done, right? So I don't know.
Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Unfortunately, you're not going to get the perfect game ever, and then every team is going to take whatever advantage that they can, but hopefully they just do it tastefully.
Yeah, well, it'll evolve. But all in all, for being basketball, I think it was entertaining. Gave us a reason to hang out with some people and like kind of
family, friends, junk food, always fun.
Yeah, do that. Ultimately, have some normalcy, which I think is vastly needed. For everything.
I think it's just sad we have to say that, but yeah, back to normalcy.
Get back to normalcy. But I think that's pretty much it as far as the finals are concerned and the finals recap. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover. I'd say we're short, sweet, and to the point, but we always go off on our tangents. Hopefully we'll get another Torch Trivia coming up soon. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about our fantasy football that we got coming up because we're doing our draft before the season, but before our cover starts, so that we can talk about that too because we're doing our first like in-person live draft with our members. So that should be fun. After we've been doing this for like 5 years, so it's good to actually do it to get together and do it. But no, I think that's everything. So let's get out. Let's take it out of here.
All right. So.
Please like and subscribe to the channel. The more the merrier. If you have questions, you can email us at theballandbeardiful@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at theballandbeardiful. Until next time.
Stay tuned for future Olympic episodes. Same ball time, same Beardiful channel. Bye, everybody.